Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Dimas Wabul Rahmat Putra Hadi, and today we'll be discussing about Arab Winter and Arab Spring on Syrian Civil War. Arab Spring. What is the definition of Arab Spring? Arab Spring is a wave of pro-democracy protests and uprising that occur within the East and North Africa, center of Middle East and North Africa, starting in 2010 and 2011, challenging a number of the region's entrenched authoritarian regime. The Arab Spring led to the overthrow of the long-time leader in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya. But in other countries like Syria, Bahrain, and Yemen, the protests were met with a violent crackdown, leading to a civil war and ongoing violence. In Syria, the Arab Spring led to a brutal civil war that has caused hundreds of thousands of deaths, displaced millions of people, and created a humanitarian crisis. In Egypt, the Arab Spring led to the overthrow of President Hosni Mubarak, but his replacement, Mohamed Morsi, was quickly removed from power by the military, and the country has since become more authoritarian. In other countries like Bahrain and Yemen, the Arab Spring led to protests and civil unrest that continue to this day, with little progress toward political change or stability. The term Arab Winter is often used to suggest that the Arab Spring has failed to bring about the political and social change that many had hoped for. ISIS stands for the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, also known as the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or ISIL, or simply the Islamic State, or IS. It is a Salafi jihadist extremist group that adhere to an extreme interpretation of Sunni Islam. It was founded in 1999 by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, but it did not gain international prominence until 2014, when it seized control of the large part of Iraq and Syria. The rise of ISIS can be traced back to the early 2000s, when a group led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi pledged allegiance to Al-Qaeda and began carrying out attacks in Iraq. Following the US-led invasion in 2003, the group, which later became known as Al-Qaeda in Iraq, or IKI for abbreviation, was responsible for a number of high-profile bombing and attack on civilian and military targets. However, a key power and influence began to wane after the US surge and the awakening movement. A tribal rebellion against IKI led by US-backed Sunni militia in 2010, IKI leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was released from the US detention center in Iraq, and subsequently began rebuilding the group. The group took advantage of the political instability and civil war in Syria, which began in 2011, to gain strength and resource. The group officially declared itself the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or ISIS for abbreviation. In 2013, and began to expand its control over territory in both countries. In 2014, ISIS made a surprise push to Iraq, capturing the city of Mosul and other areas in lightning offensive. The group brutal tactic, including public execution and beheading, as well as the success in capturing territory and resources, helped to attract thousands of new fighters from around the world. Syrian Civil War. The Syrian Civil War is an ongoing conflict that began in 2011 as part of the Arab Spring protests. Initially, the protests were peaceful, calling for a political reform and removal of President Bashar al-Assad. But the government violence crackdown on protests. Protesters led to an armed rebellion. The war is primarily fought between the government of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and various opposition groups seeking to overthrow his government. The opposition groups include both secular and Islamic factions, such as Free Syrian Army, the Syrian National Council, and various Islamist groups like Anwar al-Sham and Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Some of the opposition groups have been backed by foreign countries, including Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, while the Syrian government has received support from Russia and Iran. The conflict resulted in a significant humanitarian crisis with over 500,000 deaths, millions of people displaced and refugees. The war was also led to the rise of extremist groups such as ISIS, which has been taken advantage of the chaos to begin in the country. The humanitarian crisis of Syrian civil war, the war has displaced millions of people, both internally and externally, with many Syrians becoming refugees in neighboring countries such as Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan. Many Syrians also sought refuge in Europe, which has led to refugee crisis on the continent. The humanitarian situation in Syria is dire, with many people facing shortage of food, medicine, and other basic necessities. The war has also severely damaged the country's healthcare system, making it difficult for people to access medical care. All right, I think that's enough for today, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.